So tell us about India then. Give us a kind of a recap on that.
India's wild. It's a wild country, man.
Yeah.
You know, like 1.3 billion people, the incessant honking, just the mad rush everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the pollution. But what I love about India is, in any given city or village or wherever it is, which is just jam-packed, there's all these like pockets of just solitude and peace because of all the temples, and it's just crazy, man. It's just absolutely crazy, from the Hindu or the Buddhist, all sorts of different religions and faiths, and spirituality over there. So it's phenomenal. India for me was it was amazing because I traveled a little bit of India, but most of my time in India was in the north. It's at the foothills of the Himalayas, in the yoga capital of the world, a place called Rishikesh.
Yeah.
And Rishikesh is just like cutting right through Rishikesh is like the famous spiritual Ganges River, and over there you don't call it the Ganges River, it's Ma Ganga, Mother Ganga.
Is that where the videos were?
Yeah. So the Ganga is like a very spiritual place where people go. Just the mere sight of it is supposed to be healing, and not supposed to be, it is. Or you go in there and you do this ritual where you're like dunking yourself, and it's just massive, amazing, spiritual, meaningful river that, Rishikesh and a lot of India would not exist without Ma Ganga.
It's like a major water supply?
Yeah. So what I did a lot of conservative efforts when I was there, being part of the ashram that I was associated with. I was invited to a government conference in a local town called Lucknow, and I spoke with all these, I had no business being there, man. There's all these different politicians and big spiritual leaders, and then there's me, the tattooed Canadian. But they wanted, and I actually got just as much time as the main speaker to speak.
Wow.
And I basically told them what my job was and what I was doing, and setting up different local businesses to try and help them clean up the Ganga, and things like that. And I did a lot of other things too. My ashram owns a school that is pure pro bono. The Guruji there, he built it, doesn't charge anybody anything, all the students there.
Yeah.
And we went there, and I led this whole big effort to plant all these amazing indigenous trees for that area, and got all the kids involved, and we did it. So I did a lot of things like that. So it wasn't, and that's the beauty of what I do. It's the holistic yoga, because you gotta give back, just like our program,
Yeah.
So you gotta give back. So it's not just about breath work or meditation or anything like that. But India is just a wild country, man.
30-second recap of what a day's like there, because there's no phones, right? At the ashrams?
No, at that ashram, there's phones.
Okay.
Yeah, you need it because we're doing a lot of work. The one that you're talking about is the one I'm going to go to in Siem Reap, in Cambodia. Another retreat that I'm associated with called Hari Haralaya. You want to know a day in the life in India or a day in the life of the ashram in India?
Yeah. So would you just you wake up, have breakfast, meditate? Is it kind of like that? Just try to give kind of bullets.
For sure. So you wake up super early at meditation starts at 5 in the morning.
Okay.
You do meditation for 20 minutes, and then for 30 minutes.
Oh.
And then you've got 10 minutes, and then you do a yoga class for an hour and a half. And then after the yoga class, then you go down to the fire puja. So that's a fire ceremony where you're and it's amazing. It's 30, 40 minutes, and you're repeating a mantra over and over and over again for a big part of it.
Oh.
And you're giving offerings into the these herbs into the fire, and it's very, very it's just, it releases so much, and everything. It's very symbolic in terms of rising and
very grounding, kind of.
Very extremely grounding, and just really good for your digestive system as well. It's really connected. And then after that, you've got breakfast, and you do 3 meals a day there, and they're all Ayurvedic. So the food is like all like locally grown.
No garlic, right?
No garlic, no onion, because those are like blockers in the Ayurvedic culture. And after breakfast, and up until breakfast, it's silence, unless you're doing a mantra. And then after that, then you can speak. And then we do different things, like we have like a meditation class, lunch. Then we have like a Hatha Raja class, which is, it's like a deep sleep almost, you know, like, so you do like 30 minutes of Hatha Raja is like the equivalent of like 4 really good hours of sleep, because your body is like pure resting. So then we do that, and then after that we've got another evening yoga class, which is like also very powerful, because if the weather is nice, we do it on the roof with the beautiful Himalayan mountains in our background. It's just gorgeous. If you check out my website, you'll see some of that stuff.
What's the name of your website?
Suraksha Yoga.
Okay, I'll put the thing.
Yeah, right on.
Dinner?
And then after dinner, a couple times a week we have kirtan, which is like where we're like singing mantras around like in a community, and it's just like a really amazing thing. You know, very like Hare Krishna style, you know. So these kirtans are like just phenomenal, and the program is like set. Like, you know, you go to an ashram. Most ashrams are set up in some way, shape, or form like that, and it's like that because if you do it consistently and follow the, you know, the silence when you're supposed to be silent, and eat that food, and it's people from, like, it was like an even mix of people from all over India as well as people from all over the world. And you go there and you do this, and it's just like ridiculously healing, man. You know, you don't realize it. After about 4 days of doing this program, it's just the things that it awakens and stirs in you. It's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
So you made a conscious decision. So you were going to go for a year, right? And travel around for a year, and it's actually going to be over a year technically, right? Because you're going to Cambodia for a few months. So, I mean, what would you say, what's kind of been a couple epiphanies or maybe conclusions you've come to after a year of traveling, and do you regret it? Are you happy? It seems like yours was specific because you're going to go home and create something. But what would you say, would you kind of recommend somebody to do something like that?
Absolutely. Like, so first and foremost, in today's climate, coming to Asia, your dollar is like stretched a lot further. I mean, I went to Japan just before I was here, and Japan's quite expensive, you know, compared to the rest of Asia. But I did India, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos,
Vietnam?
Yeah, I'm in Vietnam right now, Japan, and I'm going back to Cambodia to teach at another retreat called Hari Haralaya. I mean, what's really cool is all the differences, you know. Everybody, before I got here, it was just like, oh, it's Asia, you know, like I thought Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia, it's all going to be the same, and it's not. There's like, what I love the most is all the little differences, you know, like
cultural differences.
Oh, it's amazing, man. You know, like Cambodia is the best chillers I've ever seen in my life. These guys will rock a hammock better than I've ever seen anyone in my life. And they're one of the poorest out of all the Asias, and they don't give a crap, man. You know, all they have is their smile, and they'll give it to you freely and graciously. The Cambodian smile is absolutely amazing. You know, and the food in Thailand, just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You know, the hospitality, phenomenal. I mean Thailand like gets, I think, something like 30 million tourists a year.
Yeah, I think pre-COVID it did.
You know, like, and so like the infrastructure is set up to handle that. You know,
I think that's just Bangkok alone.
Probably. You know, and it's just like the little things, you know, like all these like bikes, you know, like have these like little umbrellas on them to like stop it, to protect the phones that are on the stands.
Drink umbrellas.
Or the little bags that everybody has for their drinks, their cold drinks. You know, like it's just like a see-through little bag, and then temperament, you know, like I mean. In India, with all the honking and incessiveness and the traffic, the ridiculous, crazy traffic, nobody gets angry over there because there's no point. I don't know why they honk, because there's no point for that, but they don't. Over here in Vietnam, you know, if somebody cuts you off, they'll yell at you. You know, like, so they take it a little bit more personally. And I just love the little differences, you know. Japan is just like the respect and the honor from every single person there. It makes you want to be a better human being.
Yeah. And you were saying that Japanese hospitality takes it, right?
I mean, I come from luxury hotels, 20 plus years, and I'm telling you, man, Japan knows how to do it. You know, because not only is it clean, but it's very thoughtful. You know, they've thought about everything. You know, like, and it's in abundance. So like, you go to any of these, like, you know, like 4-star hotels and higher. Yeah. They've all got this.
They figured out every aspect of it, right? Like, they got
every
it all
nook and
covered.
cranny. Yeah.
Did you say even when you were staying in a 5-star property, and you said when you turned on the water for the bathtub, it started playing music, right?
It filled it up by itself. The temperature was done unless you wanted to change the temperature.
Wow.
And music and like opera music, classical music was playing in the background. It was just like I never seen that before. You know, like, I mean, I've seen the drapes, you know, automatic drapes, you know, open and close, but I haven't seen that. You know, like, it's just really thoughtful. Just really cool. You know, and I mean, I had to stay at a 5-star hotel in order to get a restaurant reservation at Jiro's sushi restaurant, which was on my bucket list.
Yeah, so that was the documentary, right?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Yeah, it's been on, I think it's still on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
it's been streaming for years now.
Yeah.
So it's considered either the best or one of the best sushi restaurants in the world, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so me and you didn't really talk about this because I actually told my brother about it, but give us, like, why was it so good? Was it just like, you think they just got the best fish? And you're saying the rice was just like you've never had before. I
mean, it was good for, I think, for me, 2 reasons. One was the rice, because you pick up the sashimi or the nigiri sushi, and you put it in your mouth, you know, and they want you to, like, as soon as they put it on your plate, they want you to eat it right away. They don't want you to sit on it. So they prepare it for you to eat within seconds. Yeah. And as soon as you put it on your mouth, like on your tongue, immediately the rice starts to, like, melt. It's like it's so tasty. Yeah. It's got like a sweetness to it too. Yeah. And then the fish, like, it changes every day because Jiro goes himself, or his son goes himself and buys it.
Buys the market, right?
And you know, he only puts things on the menu that is good enough for his standards. Yeah. So you know, whatever it is that you're eating has passed that grade, and you see it when you're preparing. Yeah. You know, it's phenomenal. Yeah. You know, so those, I mean, and the base is that rice, right? So that rice, like, really gives it that foundation. Yeah. It's delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah. What would you say to people that want to do the same thing? Maybe take a year trip. I mean, just get quickly, like, save as much money as you can, right?
Yeah. So I mean, COVID helped me because I saved some money. But I gotta tell you, a lot of people called me crazy to do what I'm doing at my age. You know, I'm in my mid-40s, but this is the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And all those people who are naysayers, you know, have messaged me, have contacted me, have called me, and they've said, you know, that I've inspired them. Yeah. And to be able to go and do something in a country where you're not familiar with, you know, because I was well traveled before I came here. Yeah. But when you come to Southeast Asia, come to the Asias, you're opening up yourself to a humbleness that I didn't even know existed. And I found out, and I am finding out so much more about myself than I knew before. Yeah. And that's because I'm out of my norm. And being out of my norm has really helped me. Yeah. I want to, like, open up a studio. Yeah. I want to also do it online. I want to, like, be a coach to people.
Yeah, one-on-one.
One-on-one. Yeah. And, you know, ideally, what I'd like to do is continue making a name for Suraksha Yoga, so that I can open up a retreat center. And then that'll have all my passions, you know, because I'm really great in the hotel industry. Yeah. But this is what I'm more passionate about.
Yeah, kind of helping in a sense.
Correct.
So, where do you think you're going to open that? You want to do that in Canada? Or you think if it ever gets to that point, or when it gets to that point, you think you'll want to do it overseas in Canada?
I mean, I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm saying that I want to come to Canada and bridge, you know, like this
Eastern medicine style kind of thing, yeah.
To the West, you know. But I don't know. You know, a lot of things have changed along this journey that I've been on. You know, for example, I'm going to Hari Haralaya, this amazing retreat that I went to teach now. You know, I'm going to be one of the yoga teachers there. I'm going to teach, and it's an amazing center. And I didn't know that wasn't in my plans. So I was supposed to be here in Vietnam for 3 months.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go there for 3 or 4 months and teach. So I'm not really sure. I want to be in Canada, but it is also expensive in Canada. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, what I do know is my heart is open. What I do know is I know I'm going on the right path. Geographically, where it's going to end up, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Right on. All right, man. Well, that pretty much wraps it up.
Let me say this real quick too. I just watched his videos when you were on the river, right? When you're on the river, and he nailed it. He hit the nail on the head because he's on a rock. It's so beautiful and peaceful. You can hear the scenery in the background. He's got the perfect lighting and the sunlight on the mountain. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. We're gonna start doing more videos here in Saigon. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.